Hi, I'm Justin.
I'm Rachel.
This is week 2 of Wednesday Night Hop, level 3 in February 2018. Having more fun.
Having more fun. Yeah. And this week we took the focus off of having fun individually and we started talking about the broader theme of this class, which is how to have a fun dance overall, meaning how to give a fun dance to your partner. And so we started out by talking about pulse as this fundamental way of connecting with our partner. So we did an exercise where one person was in charge of setting the pulse and the other person was in charge of responding to that pulse and matching it. We did this for 2 reasons. One, to practice pulse matching, because we want to do that while we're dancing together. And the second reason was to get a real life indicator, like a real life mirror of how much we were actually pulsing. Because 9 times out of 10, you could always be pulsing more. So we wanted to look at that.
So then the next thing we did was we taught a really simple sequence. And the reason we taught this isn't because the sequence is interesting, but just to give us a framework for the rest of what we did in class. So if you care about what the sequence was, it was a basic and a tuck turn, ha, ha, and an inside turn, and then leaders under. And to finish out the 32, we did a Lindy circle, 5, 6, 7, 8. And okay, so why did we do that? The next thing that we talked about was what some dancers call flow, and what Rachel described it as is instead of thinking that we do one move, 2, 3, and stop, and then we do the next move, and stop, instead thinking of it as one big move. So to demonstrate that, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6, 1, 2, right? And then maybe this move. I don't know, but there's not a point in time where we just stop, unless that's intentionally what we're doing, right? And as soon as we said this, I feel like you're dancing like everybody's dancing went up a level. It was really cool.
Yeah. Speaking of levels, we also talked about ways that you could sort of vary your dancing and connect with your partner, ways that you could match things, and also ways that you could own your own space. So we talked a lot about this week about owning your own space. And what we mean by that is just being confident, being in charge of where you are, what space you're taking up. One thing I said to followers was that I personally, when I dance, I generally dance with my arms sort of in this sphere to where my hands are on the edges of the surface somewhere. So if I'm rotating, they're out here maybe. If I'm doing a flourish, they're usually somewhere on the edge of this comfortable sphere. I'm not stretching my arms so far it's straight unless I want to do that stylistically. But I'm still keeping them out here, really practicing extension. So we talked about doing the same sequence with extension, right? Really getting as far out and above and doing anything we can with our arms. The next thing we talked about was adding in some levels. So we talked about going maybe some low swing outs, right? And what that looks like versus if we were going to do some higher ones.
And maybe one of the things I saw when we suggested this was all of a sudden people started changing their footwork, which was really cool. And we didn't teach you any footwork variations, but it just came naturally, which is what we're going for in this class.
Yeah. So key takeaways: pulse more, own your own space, and each individual move is actually a piece of a bigger move. So try to have continuity in your dancing.
One of the other exercises we did that I thought made a big immediate impact was we asked you to try dancing really quietly. And as soon as we said that, you were all of a sudden absorbing every step with your knees, which is just another way of saying you were pulsing. And it was really cool to see. So I don't want to say that you should always dance silently, or that you even want to feel like you're dancing on eggshells, but that gave you a feeling of what maybe it's like to pulse, which was really cool.
Yeah.
So
awesome. Thanks for coming. See you next week.